Welcome to Wealth by Design here on Edge Radio Australia. Very happy to be here after a bit of a break. I don't know, this man of great leisure here. He's been out doing his thing. It is great to see you, Jeff Bowman. Great to see you, buddy.
Lovely to be here, Aaron. Yes, it's been a bit of a break.
Yeah, well, we needed it, mate. You know, we had to see other people, you know, had to have a bit of a vibe about it. And speaking of other people, we've got a hell of a guest in today. And I'm really looking forward to this because, look, I've met Jacob before, and I'll let you do the formal introduction. But I did do something naughty. When he left the room, I said, geez, I'll tell you right, that is a switched on young fella. Really, and I like to see that. So this should be a pretty interesting conversation. A lot of adversity you've gone through, mate. And
it's been interesting.
And we're seeing something here that's, I don't know, we're at the other end of the rainbow, so to speak, on this one. So, yeah, Jeff, do the honours, buddy.
Fantastic. Thank you, Aaron.
My pleasure.
And, yes, Jacob Smith we have today. Jacob, well done, mate. Thanks for coming along.
Anytime.
Jacob, it's going to be a really good session today because we've got a really, really important subject to cover off on. One of the Wealth by Design services, as many people know who will be listening in today, is we help people in need when it comes to helping them process the arduous administration functions associated with insurance claims.
Yeah.
On the surface, boring, but when you dig into it, absolutely critical.
Yeah.
And we've had a fantastic success with young Jacob, pardon me, and it's been, an 18-month saga?
18 months, yep.
Yeah, and it all came about by it's a call out of the blue from Jacob, linked in with some of the past people that have been dealing with our company, and it's often how most of our work is all about referral.
Word of mouth and referral,
word of mouth, yeah. And so it's about insurance claim solutions today. Mm-hmm. It's about Jacob being our most recent successful claimant.
Yep.
It's been a great team effort. Jacob's done an enormous amount of work preparing us because this is a backdated total and permanent disability insurance claim.
Okay.
Backdated 2008.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew that it had been backdated, but we're near on 20 years. Yeah. Okay. Geez, no, what a battle.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
They're the words.
Yeah.
So it's been probably one of the toughest claims that my senior claims manager, Simon, and I have had to deal with.
Sure.
Probably in 30 years.
Well, Simon's been in the game a really long time.
Yeah.
How long? Again?
30 years.
He's been in the game 30. Okay, there we go.
And it's probably fair to say that it was 60 years of combined experience between Simon and myself, with an enormous amount of support from young Jacob here. He's not even 30 yet. You wouldn't believe, would you?
I know.
He's the same age as our kids. And
rub it in, mate. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And it's been so successful on many levels. And so what I thought I might do, Jacob, if you're okay, just to tell us a little bit about how you heard about us.
Yep.
Bit about your background.
Yep.
Why you needed to seek our support, and some of the key things that we've done to help you. And that'll give other people listening in an opportunity to go, well, gee, my situation might be a bit similar, or I know someone else. Just how it all happened. So, mate, over to you, Jacob Smith.
Yeah, cool. So I remember the day I called you. I just probably got off the phone with my auntie, who's a quite high-end lawyer. And I remember her talking about, if we go back a little bit further, I was speaking to the insurance group first.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'd reached out to them, reached out to some of the hospitals, reached out to a couple other groups, and obviously people don't know, but my mother passed away 2 years ago now, and essentially we were trying to get to start with death benefits. We then tried to contact hospitals. We were getting stonewalled because they believed we were going to try to sue them because of this, because of what happened.
Right.
And then, long story short, a little bit of time passed. I then spoke to our lawyer because I was going to get her involved to try to actually get some information out. And she specializes in other things. As most people know, lawyers have their own where they sit.
Yeah, speciality.
Yeah, and she basically said, look, looking at the claim and looking how long back it was, I don't really think we'd be able to get anywhere. However, a good friend of mine has just had a lot of success with these guys. Why don't you give them a call? So I called up, spoke to Jeff. We had a big long conversation about everything that happened, and some of the challenges of like her. One of her doctors had fled the country. One of her psychiatrists went to prison. So just any roadblock you could think of that could have come up. And then, I guess it took 18 months for us to actually get through every one of the roadblocks and finally get paid.
Now, mate, losing your mum is, just a massive emotional upheaval of every description. I can identify on this one. It is exactly right. And to be going through all of that, and then to have to go through this rigmarole, and to be feeling you're being denied, feeling that people are, quite frankly, running from the country from you. This is just a lot of added pressure in a time where you really need to be focusing on healing.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I remember the same week that my mother passed away, I got ripped off by one of my business partners, and I got a fine from the government as well, all in the same week. I was like, what else could happen? So I was in New South Wales at that time. I moved back to WA, had to organise a funeral, had to organise, obviously, moving everything out of the property, and it was a time.
Yeah. Kudos to you for the strength that you've shown, mate. Because I mention this because the strength you'd have to find internally, but on top of that, okay, this is it's such a mountain to climb, and if you try to do it on your own, how do you do it? This is why, like, reaching out and actually speaking to someone like Jeff, Wealth by Design, you're going to be put in touch with the people who can genuinely help you, and it takes the pressure off you. You're not there just in this, completely overwhelmed by paperwork, stress, or again in a time of grieving. It must be nice to, for want of a better term, handball it.
Yeah, it was good. There's a lot of advice and a lot of ways that allowed me to actually get through a lot of red tape that shouldn't have been there in the first place. We actually ended up getting the hospital that was not talking to us. We ended up getting full reports and pull everything from, and we managed to find one of the doctors, and we had another specialist that said that they were going to sign the reports and do all the stuff they were going to. And then when the day came to do it, they're like, "Oh no, we're not doing that now."
No.
Which Jeff handled very well. So yeah, it was a battle.
Well, Jeff doesn't say no, or doesn't allow people to say no to him. He's a bit of a terrier, this one, and I think you've got to be again.
Yeah, it is. It's just a lot of it comes from experience.
Yeah.
I mean, we a lot of people will say no for a whole range of reasons to anything, and if you ask careful questions and you're actually, you're on the right track, it's just polite, professional persistence often will win the day. Because if you work on your right, and this is the best interests of the client, you just got to do Simon and I did I call it a bit of a Mork and Mindy, the good guy, the bad guy. You're dealing with insurance people. It can be difficult, but at the end of the day, they hold all the purse strings.
Sure.
And the interesting thing is, in a lot of insurance generally has a bad name. Bloody insurance companies always do, they want to rip you off and they don't want to pay their claims. But it's mainly, that area is mainly in the general insurance area for workers' comp and storm and tempest and things like that.
Okay.
House and contents and whatever. But in the life insurance area, there's only 4 products, right?
Right.
There's death.
Yep.
Easy one. Just need a death step in the body.
Okay.
TPD, bloody hard, which is really what we're talking about here.
Sure.
Income protection and trauma insurance. There's only 4 products. And so the problem there is that facts are that 98% of those insurance policies actually get paid out.
And that's not the perception, is it?
Yeah.
Right? The perception is that, I had to fight with the insurance company, or, I didn't get paid out correctly. But again, I mean, if it's portrayed in the right way, it's put forward in the right way.
It's presented properly.
Yeah.
Those stats are right as long as it's presented correctly.
But I want to actually give you a little tick on this one. And thank you, by the way, Maria, lovely comment. Yes, we are wearing our very understated shirts. So.
You're right.
Appreciate that. Yeah, well, we'll sort you out next time, mate. It's all right. I'll see what I've got in the car for you. It might not really fit, but you can wear it as a blanket. But the thing that you've said before, we've talked about this so often, but it's about having the client's best interest at heart here. And then that's the difference. This is not like, you quite frankly take it quite personally, I have noticed. And I think this is very important. You've got a vested interest in making sure it's successful, but you always put, and that's the fundamental, you're trying to make sure that Jacob's best interest, you're thinking about his future, you're thinking about what he's entitled to. This is not Christmas. This is not a gift. This is what you're entitled to. This is what, your mum has put things in place to
make sure it's happening. Yeah,
spot on.
Yeah,
Look at your future.
Oh yeah, and in Jacob's case, his mother had a host plus superannuation fund.
Sure.
Premiums were deducted from her retirement money to pay for the insurance.
There you go.
She had a legitimate claim. The fact that we had to go back 20 bloody years,
wow.
and go through freedom of information and problems with the ATO and
trying to get the hospital fund documents from 20 years ago.
I can imagine that.
Hospital fund documents from 20 years ago, it's just crazy. We dug them all up. A lot of heavy lifting done by Jacob. Just really wisdom beyond his years. This young man, he's done a fantastic job, but he just needed our help to crack the rest of it.
Yeah.
Like even at the last end, I had to call on a mate of mine who, a 70-year-old chap who's a very, very senior guy with a super fund. I'll buy him a coffee when I go to Melbourne just to keep in touch because he's so well informed. And we talked about it. We talked about this whole issue of dependency because there's an issue with tax at the end. You either get 30% tax or you don't.
Yeah.
So are you a dependent or not? And of course, there was some small nuances in there that helped us steer it at the last minute. So it was all tax-free.
Knowledge is power, mate. I mean, that knowledge, there we go, right there.
It's very expensive piece of information.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it could save you 30%. It's a huge difference. Absolutely, yeah.
So it's fabulous to be able to steer people through, the various nuances and difficulties of bureaucratic incompetence, lack of knowledge, time. All that. And so yeah, fantastic result. We're very, very happy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy when we're going to hospitals, the hospitals are saying we have no claim. We're going to Host Plus are saying we have no claim. Going to lawyers are saying there's nothing there. So like 3 months we kept getting told there was nothing there.
I'm without words here, mate. I really am. I think that I've been in a similar situation to you, and oh no, there's nothing there. Yes, there is. There is absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, this is why my mum put these things in place, and I am entitled to them. I mean, you've gone through something very horrific, and I don't want to sort of dredge everything up, but at the same time, I think it needs to be mentioned because it's almost. I almost feel like they're taking advantage of you by saying, "Oh, look, it's too hard basket. We don't want to deal with it." You get involved with someone like Jeff at Wealth by Design, you get it done.
Well, yeah, that's how I felt as well. And then they tried to make us an offer at one point, which was considerably less than it was supposed to be. And I just felt like they were just going, well, it was from so long ago. If we try to give them something, they'll just go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And you're never too sure. It's like, is it that? Or is they just can't find the right bit of paper to
right.
Or someone else gone on leave and someone else has taken up the file. But they made it very clear what the payout would be to Jacob at the start.
Okay.
It came back half.
Less than half.
Simon and I, less than half.
Wow.
We went, this is not right. And we went back and Simon Stanton, our senior claims manager, who's been with me for over 5 years now, he's an absolute gun. And this is a really interesting thing he made a point the other day. He said, I love working with you guys because like with Insurance Claim Solutions, which is our business, and of course I own it. I said, yeah, well, apart from being a great bloke, mate, why do you like working with us? He said, for nearly all my entire career, I've been working on the other side of the desk, looking at ways of not to pay claims.
Wow.
But now I'm working for you with Insurance Claim Solutions. I'm on the other side of the desk working out how to pay the claim because now I'm actually working for the customer, not the insurance company.
What a difference.
Yeah.
And for him, I mean, okay, let's look at the advantage here. He knows the system. He knows every trick that they're going to pull to try and not pay or to make a smaller payment or whatever. He knows. You can't buy this knowledge. It's just unreal.
But he was on top of it.
Yeah.
Anytime they tried something, it was, this is what they're trying to do. This is how we're going to deal with it. Just leave it with me.
Okay. Yeah. And I love that last bit. Just leave it with me.
Yep.
How good is that?
Yeah. No, It's a fantastic thing. And I reckon there's officially only 23,000 total and permanent disability claims paid out each year.
Okay.
They're the official stats in a population of 26 million. Like there's 6 million super funds where there's insurance in each one of them.
Okay.
And they're default free insurance provided by the employer,
right,
or by the super fund that the employer pays into their super, right?
Cool.
A lot of these industry super funds like the Host Plus and Hester and Seabass and goes on and on, Australian Super. A lot of people don't actually know they've got the cover.
Right. Oh, yeah.
A lot of our clients
How would you?
They don't know because they never read the statement.
Yeah.
Because they never had to fill out an application to apply for the life cover. It was all default.
It just gets deducted without them knowing.
That's right. I'm reading the contracts. Honestly, it's like it's a great joke about, what's the greatest lie ever told? It's that I've read all the Apple terms and conditions, right? Like, we don't do it. We just tick the box and we just move on with life. No one's going to read all those details, and we don't know what we're entitled to until we actually get somebody who's got the expertise. And as I say, with Simon, what a skill! I mean, honestly, to have seen it from the other side, you've just got the right man for the job.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it's been a good after as well. Like the claim only got finalised recently, but there's been a lot of support in other ways as well. I have a company and a couple other little bits and pieces, and Jeff's managed to give me some good financial guidance on other ways to do it, put me in touch with some other good people that have benefited me in many different ways as well. So,
okay, mate. On a personal front, and I don't want to delve in too much, but okay, how has this changed your life?
Oh, it's fantastic. I'm so glad to have it over and done with. I can't even explain. As I was saying to Jeff, like 18 months of, is it going to go? Is it not going to go? Is it not going to go? It takes a toll.
Yeah, it does. So much pressure. Yeah. And so many people walk away from these things because they think, oh, look, litigation, we go that. And just that entire, just opening up that just door of disaster, quite frankly.
Yeah, no.
There's many times where I was like that as well. I know it's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. But you just got to keep going. And the guys just made sure that we're in the right spot, and we just kept pushing me along.
Yes, and what happened about 2 hours ago?
Yeah, we went for lunch for something completely different, and somehow Jeff managed to get me paid the second he sat down.
You had to have set that up, mate. Come on. It's just,
That's your ass.
Jeff's got this big button. He just goes, bang, things happen.
I think that's what happened. My good friend was there, and he was like, you've been planning this, haven't you? There's no way you can convince me you didn't plan this.
So here's your first tip. Go out to lunch with Jeff.
He's sitting there now. His phone went ping and said, I've just been paid.
And what a relief that must be, mate.
Oh, I'm so glad it's over. I can't even explain.
Oh, look, there we go.
Well, it's a credit to your patience and support, because without would have been bloody impossible for us to do all the freedom of motion stuff, because only you could do it. It was legally impossible for us to do it.
Right.
And so it's a fantastic team effort, basically. Yeah.
Well, the forensic side, I guess, of the accounting and going through all the paperwork and that. I mean, there must be a massive amount of hours, really.
Oh, I would say, it'd be, this is over 400 pages.
Yeah.
And there's been work on this done.
Yep.
Every day. At least every second day for 18 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hours.
Like it's just an enormous project. Now, they're not always that bad, because there's 4 life insurance products, and we can have someone with a backdated income protection policy. We can get that paid out within a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit different. And you're also not looking back the better part of 20 years, which is a lot of this summation.
It's just some creative thinking on behalf of a lot of people to get that happen.
Yeah, and you need it. There's no doubt about that. You'd have to be creative about these things. It's going and getting any records from, I've done this myself, hospitals or courts, or it is, you have to jump through so many hoops, They want a blood sample, a DNA sample, a bit of this, it's just, it is so much. And when you've got to do all of that and then do the paperwork, so, you've got to play your part, Jacob, obviously. Yeah. But then the great thing about handing it over, and then they want to finish all the details. Just magnificent. Yeah.
So we'll sit down with the clients as we did with Jacob and go, righto, this is the claim form.
Yep.
Bloody 20 pages. We're going to go through every line with you on a Zoom call.
Right.
Shared screens. We're going to make sure you fill the bloody thing out properly.
Right.
Because some of those questions are a bit ambiguous.
Of course.
You go, what do I do? And if people especially if they're sick, that's worse.
It's a hard
They're
challenge.
trying to fill out a form when they're crook.
Well, it kind of comes down to something that I've noticed that you do very, very well, mate. You've got a lot of patience, okay, and empathy. And those two things are vastly important with this kind of process. 'Cause I'm a kind of guy. Patience, no. I mean, look, I've got a good dose of empathy, but I want everything and I want it yesterday, right? So to do that, to know that you've got to play the game, that they've got to go through the processes. There are some really great strengths that you have there as a human being, but also as a business, obviously, that you translate that way.
It's a unique and it's a quiet set of skills. Like, it's taken 30 years to perfect it, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's an old saying, you can't fight City Hall, but the facts are you can.
Yeah, you can. Absolutely.
You just got to know how to do it.
And there's a certain satisfaction too, beating City Hall, so to speak. Yeah.
If they're getting told no from people for 4 months beforehand, and some of the top lawyers we know were also saying no to get it paid out, it was quite amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great result because
great result, mate.
We were always on the side of right. Yeah. And so that's great. Well, so what else did we cover off on during this last 18-month journey, Jacob? I think it's just been constant.
It's been a lot.
Constant. Yeah. Just giving the insurance company what they needed, really, and when they said they didn't have it, we would send it again. And also with a case that goes so long, you're dealing with different people.
Cool. Oh, that's a great point.
And you've got to be prepared to deal with different people, educate a new person that's taking over the file.
Tell the story over again.
Yeah. Because if we keep meticulous records as we do, we can go back to 2:30, 12 months ago.
Yep.
And we'll say, when we spoke to Sally at 2:33 on Tuesday the 15th.
Oh, doesn't it make a difference? Doesn't it?
They can't bullshit to you.
It's what the kids call keeping the receipts, right?
Always keep the receipts.
Yeah, damn straight. Yeah. Because, they can't be ambiguous. They can't say, we didn't get that information. We didn't have that conversation. Well, actually, and it gets things done. It really does.
Yeah.
They had to, a lot of the stuff they had to dig out of an old system, which was basically Excel.
Right.
That they were still on. So it was just actually getting all the documents and getting through the process was quite crazy, considering how old it was.
Yeah.
Now, there's a bit of a shout out here to Host Plus.
Okay.
Yeah. Because not all insurance companies are bad.
No.
And not all super funds are bad. And as you probably appreciate, there's two players here.
Yeah.
One's a super fund, and the other is the underlying insurer that provides the insurance.
The underwriter. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had Host Plus as the super fund, and we had Zurich as the underlying underwriter.
Gotcha.
That pays out the money. And to Host Plus's credit, they actually, the first bloke that spoke to Jacob,
Ben,
he said, "I reckon you should go for a posthumous total and permanent disability claim."
Right.
Now, that is a very, very smart thing and a very positive thing that the superannuation company, Host Plus, did.
Yep.
And it's an absolute credit to them because they gave Jacob hope.
Yeah, okay.
With that, and it gave us hope. Because as soon as Jacob told us that, we said, right, who was it? Bloke called Ben. Right.
Ben.
Young Ben. And credit to Ben too, because although it's been a arduous, tough gig, I would say administratively he's under the pump as well. But he did say that right at the start to Jacob, which was fabulous because we got hold of that, that we've got to have something to get hold of. Bloody hell, I've got to go back 20 years here. And we recorded that as a file note straight away.
Right.
And then we hung off that from day one. And as it turned out, it was a death cover paid out because they were poor old Jacob's mother died. So, righto, now it's a death payout. Then we have a whole discussion around whether Jacob was at her pendant or not. Right. And that affects a massive tax bill. All right. Because he's bloody.
Of course.
Because we're also trying to be like it should have been part of the estate then, but because it was the estate had been paid out and it wasn't part of the estate, I say. There's a lot of loopholes.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can absolutely imagine.
In the end, we got the whole lot, boom, deposited into his account 2 hours ago. no tax.
No tax.
And it was
no
just,
tax.
Makes me very happy.
Oh, straight down the barrel. No tax. But it's it's such a big. Okay, so what I'm going to point I want to make is that there's several claims involved here. This is not that I'm just claiming on the unfortunate passing of mum as far as the death side. There's the TPD side of things. There'd be other aspects as well. So just bringing them to collating it together and creating enough of a pathway, I guess. Which is what you and Simon are putting together.
And it's understanding the rules.
Yeah.
Because a policy can be owned by Aaron personally, or it could be owned by your company, it could be owned by your family trust, or it could be owned by your self-managed super fund.
Sure.
Or your industry super fund. Any super fund can own a policy. And you've got different tax treatments
for each
all of those in a payout.
Oh.
You see.
Yeah.
So it's not, and we're not accountants, but we know how it works.
I mean, we're not giving financial advice here. The fact is, this is you actually, the great thing you do, you drag people together to the right people. You're a connector, really. So if you need an accountant, you need a financial advisor, you need whoever happens to be the expert in that field. That's the secret to this.
That's our game.
That's the game.
That's our game.
Yeah.
So, but so who was the insurance company? Going to give them all a plug. Who was the insurance company that did it for you? It was insuranceclaimsolutions.com.au? It
was insuranceclaimsolutions.com.au.
Fantastic. Because that's where anyone would go to.
Sure.
To go, oh, I know someone that may need to talk to you, and they just go to our website and lock it in and give us a, just give us a call.
Give us a call. Really that simple, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, could we go through bookjeff.com or would you go through?
Oh, no. I just think they go to claims.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Claims at ICS claims.com.au.
Okay, no problem at all.
And
we can throw that link up as well afterwards.
And that will give anyone the opportunity just to jump online. They go to the website. They can phone a 1300 number.
Okay.
They can send us an email, and it just might be that all our work comes from people that go, hey, my auntie's got this and this. Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah. Okay.
And then it goes from there.
Can I ask this question? And I think, if we can finish on this, because I think, mate, this is a great point. How has this changed your life, mate?
Yeah, it's definitely going to help. It was a very dark time, obviously, that I came out of, and just having some support around me was fantastic. And obviously getting it over the line was even better. So
You're a very understated fella. Yeah, I mean, as I say, I think very highly of you. I think that the fact that you're doing great things, and you didn't let this beat you. It's a big emotional upheaval in your life, and you've built something great out of it. You've gotten what you're entitled to with fantastic advice and people to help and support you through the journey. So no, that I think you've tip the hat to you, mate. I'd almost take it off, but no one needs to glare off the lights, right? And with that, we'll finish the show. Jeff, absolute pleasure, my friend.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yep. Look, get onto wealthbydesign.com.au. Of course, the other website, the other
Insurance Claims Solutions, all one word, insuranceclaimsolutions.com.au.
Easy as that. Get on board, get some wonderful advice, book an appointment, and hopefully, very likely you'll end up with a wonderful result, just like Jacob.
Yeah, and thank you, Jacob, for being one of our most easiest clients to deal with. You've been so helpful.
Long process, but
long.
We got there. No, I really appreciate it. I really do. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, mate.
Brilliant, guys. Thanks very much for being part of Wealth by Design here on Edge Radio Australia.